Welcome back. It's episode 2 of the Master Cinema podcast, and we'll be deep diving into the Best Actress and Best Supporting Actress nominations. We hope you enjoy.
I think I should set the scene if you're listening with your headphones right now. Ada is sitting opposite me in an August Moon t-shirt. A band that exists in the Idea of You cinematic universe.
Yeah.
Would you like to talk about this?
Why not?
Why not?
Why not? This is a film podcast.
It is.
And I'm repping the industry.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
I want to shout it out. I want to say I loved that film.
Maybe that will be my thing. Every episode.
A new t-shirt.
A different t-shirt. And you're never going to know what's coming.
You'll never know what's coming.
Never know.
Honestly.
You're going to dig deep into the archives.
I'm going to dig deep.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Next episode. Next week. I could come in.
Who knows?
A Teletubbies t-shirt. You don't even know what's coming.
We don't know. I'm not prepared.
Like, I've got more, guys. Yeah. Shout out to PR. Send me some more.
Oh my god, and I'm wearing Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind, Meet Me in Montauk, just to set the scene again.
Very nice. I'm wearing a brown cardigan.
A brown vest.
Great.
I got it today.
Fantastic.
It's a mohair blend.
So we're back for episode 2.
Yes, we are.
I hope everyone enjoyed episode 1. You know, it's time.
This is the day before we're putting episode 1 into the world.
Wow.
So who knows? We can't even use that feedback to inform.
No, so we have no feedback.
By episode 3. No.
No,
by episode 4.
No feedback. Actually, nobody tell me your thoughts.
But I'm sure everybody's enjoyed, and I'm excited to read through all the comments. Just make sure they're all nice.
Yeah. Please be nice to us.
But for this episode, we are doing Best Actress and Best Supporting Actress. We are for the girlies right now, and I'm really excited.
As we always are.
Yeah.
Repping.
And I think I'm really excited, more excited for this episode.
Me too.
I don't have too much to say, actually.
Yeah.
But as per usual, I guess we'll start with the hot takes, but I do have a rebuttal.
Okay. Right, here we go.
I just come crawling back.
And it actually takes a confident, strong person to admit when they could have potentially been wrong.
Oh my god, I can't wait for this.
So last week I might have said that Timothée Chalamet will not be getting that Oscar.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
I will now say he will be getting that Oscar. Not because my thoughts have changed on his performance, not because, I don't know, the world suddenly has fallen in love with him. It's only because Timothy seems to be the only actor doing the Oscar campaign.
Yeah, that's
He's
true.
out and about. He's everywhere.
He's been doing talks after talks after talk. I saw Elle was doing a talk with him. Christopher Nolan was doing a talk with him. He's been doing talks after talks after talks. Michael, fight back. But you're not doing anything.
It's because he did that whole program at American Cinema Tech.
Exactly, which is part of his Oscar campaign.
He didn't include Lady Bird or Little Women.
Which I think also speaks to what we were saying. He's leaving the girls behind.
Yeah.
And we're going to see what happens with that.
But he did do Call Me By Your Name.
Okay, at least we've got
Represent.
one. We've got one.
Yeah.
Well, he had to. That's like truly what made sure he set the bar. Imagine he left off Call Me By Your Name.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
very true.
Yeah, I'd be fine.
But with that, okay, cool. Have it.
Thank you.
You'll be getting it.
That's why you think he'll win, because he's on.
He's making sure that he's front and center.
Yeah.
The other nominees, where you at?
I think the only other person I've seen is Wagner.
Yeah.
Because he's been at all the award shows.
But that's different. Award shows is different.
Yeah, I haven't really seen him do anything. Do any other press.
Because you also have to think, like, Timmy's been doing that. I don't know what it's called, the Day of Timmy. I don't know what he's been doing. But then he also came here and did like 4 Q&As back to back.
Charles,
Yeah, he did like 4 Q&As back to back. And then he went to Paris again, and he was doing premiere. He did the works again. And then he went to LA, has been doing back to back to back. I was like, what's everybody else doing?
Yeah, you know what? He said, I'm going to get my ass up and work. Exactly. That's what he did.
So I think you have to, it's going to end up swinging in his favor.
Yeah.
So there you go. Take it, guys.
Yeah, it's also the nostalgia of the AMC screenings, like going through all his roles over the years. And as I said last time, he's been turning in Oscar-worthy performances for a long time now. I feel great, girls. It's great start to the podcast for me.
So okay, cool. Then I think he might get it, unless by the time this comes out, maybe Michael B. Jordan will do something.
He's setting up screenings as we speak.
Yes, he's actually hearing me speak, and he's like, "Hold up,
hold on,
I gotta stand up.
Be there. Yeah, I'll do something." So who knows?
It is interesting with like what you're saying about, showing that he's been putting through Oscar-worthy performances. As we talked about last episode, like feeding into the narrative of like, is somebody like due an Oscar? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that, because I've said this last episode, like I don't know if I agree with that logic completely.
Yeah.
But there is such a narrative of like, when will, especially with Timothée Chalamet, when will his Oscar be there? So yeah, actually thinking about that, to put in a program of your own films that are also moderated by people that you love or you work with, like Elle Fanning was there.
But Christopher Nolan did.
Christopher Nolan did, yeah.
So like,
that's it's interesting in that kind of
Yeah.
narrative of working your way up to an Oscar when you I agree. I do think he's been putting in Oscar-worthy performances.
Thank you.
But
I'm having a great time right now. It's all
we'll
coming
see.
up, Claire.
I just wanted to put that out there.
Well,
my
thank
feelings
you.
have maybe changed.
that's very big of you, Ada.
That's very big of you. I'm very
Like,
proud
I
of
will
you.
always say when I've been wrong. It's rare.
She'll own up.
It's rare.
Yeah.
But do you want to do our hot takes for the week?
Okay, so my hot take is that whilst I'm very happy to see that Jacob Elordi is being taken more seriously as an actor from teen beginnings, teen movies, teen media, I would have liked the same energy for Charles Melton in May, December.
Let's
That's my
talk
hot
about
take.
that. Yes.
Because obviously he was in Riverdale. He went straight from Riverdale to May, December and turned out such an emotional, such a nuanced performance that nobody thought he had in him. And then I was thinking back, because obviously it was just the Independent Spirit Awards. I think he either did get nominated or did win for that, but then that happened.
Snubbed.
He got snubbed.
Yeah.
Snubbed at the Oscars, yeah.
Across the board, like silence after
Yeah.
that. And that's my hot take.
Yeah.
I'd like to talk about it.
I agree with that.
You say
Thank
that, and I agree. And I can see the performance of him at the end where he's crying.
Yeah.
Like, I can see it. That
Yeah.
really was like...
If he'd just been in it for the scene on the roof, that would have been,
my
that's
God.
deserving of an Oscar
Yeah.
alone. Like, it is a really vulnerable role to play and a vulnerable role to put yourself in. It's based on like a real person.
Yeah.
And I think to just turn out a performance like that is just,
Yeah. That's a good hot take. I like that.
Thank you.
I like that. I like that.
We're all agreed.
I know, I like when I say my hot take and everybody
Charles
agrees.
Melton.
Charles Melton, woo!
Your day is coming.
Charles Melton Hive.
My hot take, well, it was as I was packing and bringing stuff today, we've got the little Materialist vinyl in the middle there. And I saw a lot of people not loving this movie. And I want to say, I thought Materialist was a great movie. You're looking away. She's not looking at me. I loved it. Celine Song, I love you so much. I was in from past lives. I immediately put that in like my top 4 on Letterboxd after I saw it, and I was seated for this. I thought it was a really beautiful, moving movie. I think it didn't shy away from the realities of dating now. I think it really focused on the actual real romance that is happening in the cracks in between. I thought it was my favourite performance of Chris Evans. There are so many scenes that I just was like mesmerised by him. I thought he was great, and I loved the concept of it. I thought it was really clever, and she's a beautiful director. And yeah, I love you, Celine Song. And the two people are not going to agree with me.
No, but sorry.
No, you go.
I find it hard because I also love Celine Song, and Past Lives to me is an all-timer. And I remember watching it. We screened it for Massive. We worked on like a merch collab with Celine Song and like and Studio Canal for Massive. So like I remember being so in it.
Yeah.
And it was so fun to work on that because I had such like deep love for that film and still do. I've watched it so many times. Yeah, I have the Past Lives print that we made hanging on my living room wall. And I think obviously when then you go into like when you love that film so much, and I just love her. I love the way that she speaks. I love what she's got to say. Like I think she's so intelligent and has such like a strong directorial like viewpoint and vision. That going into this, all the like early images, the trailer looked great. I was like, and I love a rom-com, so I was like, I'm so seeing it. But it just fell flat for me. Yeah.
And I think my biggest issue with it was how it was marketed. They marketed it like it was a noughties rom-com. So then
it was like the voiceover and the trailer and
and also with like the press things that everyone was doing, it was a bit too light to give the impression that this is just a romance. So then when you went into it, if you're going in with the mentality that it's rom-com and then 15 minutes have passed and I haven't laughed,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, so this actually isn't what I expected. So why did they take that approach to make it seem like it was a rom-com? You can't go in and like...
It's a romantic dramedy.
Exactly. So I think with that, it kind of put everybody on the back foot. And that's when the debates were happening around like, oh, would you choose like broke men?
The broke boy propaganda.
Those debates are valid when you're talking about a rom-com. But this isn't a rom-com.
No.
And I also didn't really... The thing is, the film's not bad. It's not a bad film.
Yeah.
But I think that some things weren't fleshed out enough to be part of the film. And I didn't really like the B storyline of the dating assault story.
Sure.
Right.
Because I just thought it was almost like just a throw in to throw it in. It didn't seem to be explored enough for it to have any weight.
It did when I watched it. It does kind of like completely change the tone of the film.
It's a complete shift.
It's a shift, but it's almost a bit jarring because it's like, okay, so then where do we go with this? And then it kind of was just like, well, okay, it's happened, move on.
Yeah.
And it's like, which also I guess is like the reality of the fact that it does happen.
Yeah.
But I think that considering the sensitivities that happened with her previous film, you would explore that issue a little bit more, because now I don't really care about this couple. I now care more about the person that got attacked through this dating agency.
Yeah. I think it was just the fact that it was a commentary on so the fact that it didn't shy away from that, and that it kind of brought that into it in a way where it shocks you and takes you out of it. I just thought that was just like incredibly real. I think there was a really like realist mentality to that, to love and to dating, and that is going to happen to so many women when they are dating. And I don't know, there was just so much about it that I was like, obviously there is the romance and oh my god, is she going to choose Pedro or is she going to choose Chris? But I think ultimately it became this story about like, okay, I'm going to go down the path of choosing romantic love over the thing that's going to bring me security and safety, and how that is like a really bold choice, and choosing love over, you know, financial security is, so many people were like, why didn't she choose Pedro? And it's like, well, because she wanted real romance. And that I guess I'm romantic. I was really, that whole storyline part of it really moved me. I would have loved to have seen, I agree with you, I would have loved to have seen a bit more from like the relationship between her and Chris. I would have loved to have seen a bit more, but it really did it for me, especially like the monologues at the end when they're on the stairs. That really moved me. The when I look at you, I see wrinkles, grey hair, and kids that look like you. That did it for me.
I just didn't buy them as a couple.
Did you not?
No, I wasn't invested.
Yeah,
but the thing is, even though I wasn't invested, there wasn't a iota of me that thought she was going to choose Pedro. It was almost from the jump, it was like, you're obviously going to go to Chris.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know it's going to piss me off at the end, but you're obviously going to do that. But then also just watching them, I was like, I was just like,
it didn't do it for you.
No,
that's okay, because it did it for me.
I think it's also because like they don't, to me, feel like fleshed out people, and I think that's what I love so much about Past Lives. And I know that Past Lives is more autobiographical, so that makes more sense, that they feel more fleshed out. But yeah, I think the fundamental problem, with everything aside from the film, is that I realized at one point in the film, I was like, okay, they're gonna end up together, and I need to buy into this, and I just never did. I didn't feel the chemistry, and it's a shame, because I actually like all three of them as actors, and I think Chris Evans does really well in this film.
Really good.
But I think
this is also, I initially thought that there's been a miscast here, and I'm not too sure which one of you has been miscast, but there's an unbalance.
Unbalance is exactly the word. Like there is just in the triangle, you know,
somebody had to be switched out, and it would have maybe sold it a bit more, but I can't tell you which actor has been, because all three of them were like the hottest at that time, and I understand why they brought them together. But like, as in like everyone's talking about them, but like, I don't think that it didn't make sense. Because maybe we needed a Chris Pine. Chris Pine would have charmed us all the way through.
You and Chris Pine.
I love a bit of Chris.
I think because I
do. You do love a bit of Chris Pine.
I think because also like I thought there was more chemistry between Pedro and Dakota personally, but then you're like, okay, they're not going to end up together. So then for the film to convince me that she's going to choose Chris Evans, I need electricity.
Yes.
And I just didn't get that.
The yearning wasn't felt. I didn't feel like he wanted her down like that.
Oh, I did.
Really?
Oh, when he's
Yeah,
looking at her
I
in like the
agreed with that
parking
too.
garage, and he's like memorizing her face. Oh, guys, I love that movie.
I'm glad that
Yeah,
glad
no,
that you love
if it worked for you,
Materialist
yeah.
defender.
If you like it, I love it.
You love that for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
There we go.
Right.
Okay, here we go.
I was coming in with the hottest.
This is the hottest take.
Well, no, because I've just been thinking about it, and obviously it's been a hot topic for a while. And I want to preface that saying that I'm not an Emerald Fennell #1 fan.
Okay.
And I can see that there are many flaws in her work, but I think some of the commentary is rooted in a bit of misogyny, and that's going to be my hot take.
Okay.
So everybody likes to make the joke about Emerald's films taking a sexually violent turn in the third act. Emerald only has 3 films.
Yeah.
So for that to be like this long-standing thing to be like, this is what she's known for, she only has 3 films. Her first film was literally also about sexual violence. So that's actually the whole film.
Yeah.
And then the second film, when we say a sexually violent turn, what in Saltburn was so sexually violent in comparison to directors like Quentin Tarantino that always take a sexually violent turn, and that is actual graphic sexual violence. With Emerald's films, we don't actually see that much nudity. Okay, Barry running around with his thing out, but like for the sex acts, there isn't nudity for it to be her stamp, because she is a female director that is there to feature sex in her stuff. For some reason, she's now like overly sexualized.
Okay.
But for male directors that do feature, and I will say, like, there are some sex scenes that we do see in films where I'm like, was that really necessary?
Yeah.
Oppenheimer. I think about that sex scene a lot, because I'm also like, why do I need to see that? But like, you wouldn't, and nobody's ever going to be like, Christopher Nolan takes a sexually violent turn and we're tired of his sex-based films. But he doesn't have any sex any less than maybe Emerald Fennell. Quentin Tarantino also doesn't. But with male directors, it's fine for them to just do that. But God forbid a female director features a bit of sex in her stuff. And also, like, we're not even seeing a naked body. So like, what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
It's just it's the matter of fact. Like, yeah, people have sex. She's doing things on romance. So like, what is wrong with that? And also saying that the sex isn't any different to what you see in Bridgerton. But is anybody saying like Shondaland is too sexual? I think the way that people love to pile onto a woman.
I think they really
It's been dogpiling after dogpiling, and it's just like, okay, yes, there's flaws in everybody's things, but even when we look at, like, they're saying that it's not historically accurate. Okay, cool. That also happens.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of dispel that with, like, again, we can dispel that with Bridgerton. So when it comes to, like, big male directors like this, and people have already mentioned that Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, the costume is not going to be historically accurate.
Yeah.
People are just like, yeah, cool.
Yeah, I mean,
people have just said, well, the other one is ugly. Okay, yeah, and also no shade, like, what they were wearing in Wuthering Heights back then, when it would have been done, was going to be ugly. So we wanted pretty dresses, beautiful gowns.
Yeah.
Well,
Give us beautiful gowns.
it was a creative choice to do that. It's not about it being
Yeah.
historically inaccurate. That was a creative choice. That was
Yeah.
intentional.
But this is the pylon. People are using it as a pylon. And also,
Yeah.
like, I think that people hear adaptation and think that it should be bar for bar. But
Yes,
adaptation
yeah.
is my interpretation.
Yeah.
And that's the point of it. But they're like, oh, she's doubling down now, or she's tracking back. Okay, but like, loads of adapted films have dropped out characters.
Yeah.
I've dropped out people because also we don't have 10 hours to tell the whole book. When she says it's a vast book, she's not saying it's 1,000 pages. We're looking at like 3 generations of family. How long do you want us to be there? And if she made it 3 or 4 hours, the next complaint would be the film's too long.
Well, this is the other thing, is it doesn't finish the book. Like, it's different to the book, but there's a
Exactly.
whole ending of the book that isn't there because that was the choice. That was the creative choice. And the comparisons are like, but it's not the book. That was the choice.
Also, is she the first person to not do the whole book? No.
Most of the things 35 Wuthering Heights adaptations. Apparently.
Yeah, most of the ones that we've watched haven't done the full book. So like, why now all of a sudden she does it? It's like, oh, she should go and write a personal apologies to Miss Bronte. Like, get over it. Like, there's so many films that we are obsessed with. Like American Psycho. When you read that, majority of American Psycho is not in the film. Nobody's saying that film is horrible. Even you can look at some of the Harry Potter, some of the characters are dropped out. It's a creative choice and you live with it and you move on. But I think with female directors, it has to be a tiny pylon, and all of a sudden everyone's jumping on it.
It's crazy.
And it's like, I think we need to give it a rest.
Yeah.
The film,
Yeah.
if you don't like it, bury it, like go away, it doesn't really matter, like whatever. But I think like
have our opinion.
it's becoming a bit too much of a personal attack.
Yeah.
And that's my take.
That's your hot take.
That's my hot take.
That was a good hot take.
Thank you guys.
That was a really great hot take.
Right.
Okay, so let's talk Best Supporting Actress noms.
Yeah.
So nominated we have Tiana Taylor for One Battle After Another, Elle Fanning for Sentimental Value, Inge Ipstadter-Lilius also for Sentimental Value, Wunmi Masaku for Sinners, and Amy Madigan for Weapons. What do we think?
The way I
Strong.
jumped out of my seat.
Yeah.
The way I jumped out of my seat when I saw that Wunmi was nominated.
I know.
Everybody
clapped.
In the office.
Everybody clapped.
Everybody clapped.
And for
Everybody
good
on their feet.
reason. And
Yeah,
for
yeah.
good reason.
The world shifted.
The world,
Yeah.
something
My world
shifted.
shifted.
I'm so like genuinely so happy to see her nominated. Like I just think because, you know, she won the Gotham and then there just wasn't a lot of talk post then. I wasn't sure if it was going to happen, but it has. And I'm very happy that it has.
It's extremely strong
Yeah, it's
of a
so
category. And it's actually really hard for me to pick who I want to win versus who I think is going to win.
I completely agree with you.
It's so tight. But in saying that, I do feel like there is one nomination
There's an
that
outlier.
should not be there.
Speak on it.
It's Amy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's Amy for Weapons. Maybe this is my hot take. I think Weapons is an overrated film.
I loved Weapons. Sorry.
Yeah, I also
Okay,
love
I'm a
Weapons.
weapons defender.
Do you know
Sorry.
why?
At the time of my life in that
Do you know
cinema.
what I'll say is, I saw Weapons. I saw Weapons like a couple months before it came out, and my first take straight away was that I knew what the ending was.
Okay.
And that really annoyed me all the way through the film. Because if you had a time in your teenagehood when you were obsessed with witches like me, I was very convinced I could bump into a witch any day, and I was ready to call them out.
Good law. This is
Yeah.
great law. Anna Law has just
You
dropped.
never know what she's going to say. And I love it.
If you grew up Nigerian, the witch talk is all the time. So witch symboling is very clear. When Weapons starts, and also if you haven't seen Weapons, maybe skip 5 minutes.
Yeah.
When Weapons
we're gonna get
starts,
spoiler
the title card, I think it puts a triangle in the O. That is the sign of the occult. So I was like, oh, so there's a witch.
Okay.
So when they were like, who's taking the kids? I was like, so where's the witch?
Show me.
And I was like, so show me the witch. Show me the witch. And then all of a sudden, some person with a bright orange wig pops up, and I was like, oh, I wonder what you're doing. I wonder what you're doing here. Witch. So, sorry. So for me, I'm sorry, it was spoiled within the first 2
Anna,
seconds.
this is cracking me up.
I'm sorry, where are my occult watchers? Like, you would have watched it and seen that straight away and be like, oh, witch. Yeah. And the annoying thing about that is that in the posters, that symbol isn't in any of the posters. You only made that choice to do it
As the film
in
starts.
the film.
Okay.
And I was like, the film's ruined for me. Like, because also with the marketing, it was always like, what's happened to these kids? What's happened to these kids? I was loving the marketing, and 2 seconds in, oh, a witch got them. Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm so glad I didn't watch this with you. Because it would have been over.
Anna turns to you and
I would
goes,
have been
there's a
like,
witch
So there's
coming.
going to be a witch. Where's the witch?
I was like, I wonder who it is. And obviously, initially, I was thinking it was, what's the face? My girl, the main actress. What's her name? Oh, she must be
Julia
a
Garner.
witch. Yes.
Julia Garner.
But then naturally, I'm sorry, you don't have horror film. And then everything's kind of like drab, and all of a sudden a bright orange witch pops up, and we shouldn't think, oh, you have the kids. You are this bright orange wig in the woods, moving like Hansel and Gretel's witch. I'm like, you have the kids, obviously. So for that, I don't care about this film.
Okay.
But she was amazing in it. I just don't think it was like an Oscar nominated film.
Yeah. I don't think it was an Oscar worthy performance, but that being said, I did think she was really great in it, and I'm also glad that the Academy, especially with this and Sinners, is choosing to recognize horror more seriously, and that is a win for me. I think it's been a long time for it to be taken seriously, and
This takes me back. Lily Rose Depp in Nosferatu. I thought she was snubbed. I thought she was so great in that movie.
yeah, she's amazing.
She's
when
amazing.
that thing that dropped,
When
like
she's like convulsing in that movie.
and everyone thought it was CGI, but it was just her face.
But it was just her face.
That was pretty good.
I love when you hold your tongue.
I love Nosferatu. I've spoken about it many times.
You have.
I've seen it too many times, actually. I'm starting to fall in love with him. But
Real.
I don't think that she would have got anything for that. I think she was good, for sure.
I think she was really, really good.
I think she was fantastic, but I didn't see it for that. But I think, like, obviously all the technical awards and stuff like that, I think they should have collected a lot more.
Yes, I agree.
Oh my god, the cinematography.
Yeah, they should have collected a lot more for that. But also, I'm sorry, that year that was Wicked. Like, so much was happening that year.
Yeah, it was
there was
like,
a lot going on.
Like anything that was coming out that Wicked year, you were buried. So,
Yeah.
Like there's nothing you can do. And I think it came out like a month after Wicked. So like.
Yeah,
a lot going on.
Apologies to you. Sorry to that girl.
But I agree. It is really great to see horror being taken seriously.
And I would wish that to me the best horror film that came out from last year was Bring Her Back. And Bring Her,
I've not seen it. I'm
Okay.
too scared to see it.
Bring Her Back is, I don't even like horror, but those twins, since they started making films, I'm like, wow, your Oscar is coming.
Wait, they did
Talk to Me.
I loved Talk to Me.
Talk to Me was amazing.
Yeah.
Bring Her Back would like share it, like basically broke me to my core because it was a horror film surrounding grief.
Yeah.
And to make grief the villain, but then also I feel sorry for the villain, and I'm like, you know what, I get it, I would be doing that as well, but you were doing the worst of stuff.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
Oh my god,
and it's Sally Hawkins.
I do love Sally Hawkins.
Love
it has it on my list.
Watch it.
Okay.
Watch it. You will be traumatized.
Moving out of mine. Sitting out there.
So going back through the list, do you want to do who do you think is going to win and who do you want to win?
Can I, before we go on to this,
go on,
just say something about supporting actress, because I'm thinking about it a lot. I love everybody in the category, and there's not someone that I would boot out for this person, but I have to talk about my diva from The Secret Agent. I have to talk about Tanya Maria. I have to talk about Donna Sebastiani.
And say that.
She ate up her 11 minutes of screen time. Like, it's like we're talking about, the thing is that, and we were talking about this last episode about how, like, you know, Marty Supreme, Timothée Chalamet is supported by the other actresses around him, whereas The Secret Agent is very much like Wagner leading that. But apart from Wagner, the most memorable part of that film for me is when Donna Sebastiani shows up. Yeah. She's chain smoking, she's in her floral dress, everybody loves her, I love her. Yeah. And I found out that she was not a professional actress. She was a seamstress until she was 70, and Kleber, the director of The Secret Agent, discovered her, used her in one of his films, brought her back for this. This is her second.
I love that.
This is her second acting role, and now she has 100,000 followers on Instagram.
Oh,
that's
diva.
Show me a diva. Show me a
that
diva. And you know, I didn't think that she, even though people have been nominated for less time, I didn't think that she would get a nom. But I would just like to shout out her performance, because I just think she's so compelling. And I think what I do love about Secret Agent is, obviously it is Wagner's film, but you've got, like, you know, so many different actors that come in and out, and because there is this kind of like film noir odyssey that we were talking about last week, like all these characters have to make an impact to add to the story. Like they do have to really use their short screen time, and I just think she does.
It really creates that community.
Yeah,
you're in that community, and
it's immersive. It's immersive, and that's what's so good about the film.
Yeah. But I think that's film noir, and I think that's what we'll talk about it more when the international. But I think it actually respects the genre very well. Yeah, which a lot of modern takes on film noir don't. But I agree with you. Yeah. However, well, to be honest, I would obviously take out Amy. But
can I?
And again, no shade to Amy, but I would put in Naomi Ackie.
I was just about to say, where is she?
No, but where is she?
Where is she? I'm so happy she won the Independent Spirit last night.
I know.
I rewatched Sorry Baby today, and I was just, of course I did. One thing about me is I'm going to rewatch Sorry Baby, and I was just like, this is it's hers and Ava's film. Yeah, it's their film. Yeah, it's about friendship. There couldn't be one performance without the other. Yeah, and it's so moving. It's so powerful. She's funny. She matches.
She's so charming.
She's so charming, and it's just, she brings so much heart to it that just. Oh, I was like, I might have to put Sorry Baby in my top 4 today. I was like, on my 50th
You know
rewatch,
what?
I was like, this is incredible. And I was like, where is Naomi?
Yeah.
Where
Not
is she?
even just for that though. Naomi's had such a strong year.
She's great in Mickey 17.
Exactly.
Really good.
I think she was.
Exactly.
I also think she's the best part of Mickey 17.
She is the best part
Yeah.
of Mickey 17.
Yeah.
And also, she was probably one of the best parts of Thursday Murder Club. Like, Naomi Aki's had
Oh my
a
God,
very
yeah.
strong
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Where's her accolades?
Where's
Yeah.
her
No one's
accolades?
shouting about her. But she's got that new Boots Riley film coming out.
Yes,
Oh,
let's
So,
go.
like,
I'm so excited.
I'm excited for that. But
yeah.
I need... Naomi, your time is coming.
Yeah, your flowers are coming.
We'll make sure.
We'll be bringing them.
We'll be front of line. We will be shouting your name forever. But yeah, I would have hoped that she would have got something for sure. But yeah, at least she
Yeah.
got the Spirit Award. Who do you think is going to win? And then who would you like to win? And I'm going to go last because I'm still actually flip-flopping. So you guys
Same.
go.
Okay. I can start by who I think, but I'm kind of split between two on who I think might win, and I genuinely can't decide who I want to win.
I know. It's so tight.
It's-
but I think also this year for the Oscars, it's like there are so many first-time nominees.
Yeah, and I think that's
so the
what's-
celebration is beautiful across the board.
It is.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why like when I look at this category, I'm just like, oh,
Yeah.
all the girls are here.
the
Like I did like
In Best Supporting Actress, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Like-
surrounded by all my girls.
and I don't want to like pile on Amy. Like I think her performance is like bottom of my list in this list, but it's a really
but
tight.
it's still a great performance.
Yeah,
still a
it's still a
great
great performance. But I think who will win, but to me it's between Teyana and Inga.
Yeah.
I think Teyana obviously won Golden Globe.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's incredible in One Battle After Another. I think like that to me is her film and Chase's film, and we will talk about that soon. I think.
Mm-hmm.
But also I don't know, Inga. I just feel like there's just been I've seen a lot more noise about her performance. Maybe.
Yes, but between her and Elle, I feel like I see as much noise between the.
Do you think it will split?
I think
Do you think it will split the
they're-
votes?
I think they're the swing vote.
Yeah, but then there's always that theory that like if there's two people from the same film in the same category, neither of them will win because it will split the vote.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, would love to see Elle win. I think maybe her performance is going a bit under the radar because she has a really, really tricky job in this film, and she handles it as she handles all her roles with expertise. Like she has to play this actress that we believe that she's a good actress, but we also have to believe that she's wrong for the part.
Yeah.
And that's a really hard thing to play as somebody like Elle Fanning, who we know is a good actress and can act.
Yeah.
And I just think that even though obviously the focus of the kind of film is, Stellan's two daughters and played by Renata and Inga, like she almost is like not meant to be a villain in the film, but she's cast as like maybe a slight antagonist or it's like she drives a narrative, and she has to that scene with Renata in the theatre where they're talking through the role. Like I just think she has a lot to carry in this film, and I haven't really seen a lot of noise about her performance in it. Obviously we've seen her because she's Elle Fanning, and she's like, out of everybody apart from like Amy, she's kind of been working the longest really, and like or has had the most kind of critical acclaim generally as an actress, just because she's like so in Hollywood, whereas obviously Inga's international, Wunmi is British, like, but I don't know, I just think I haven't heard a lot of noise about her performance. I've seen her be very visible everywhere because she's an it girl, but I just I don't know, like I think, sorry, that doesn't really answer the question.
I think it just speaks to how strong the category is.
Yes.
She also just got the Timmy said like her performance was one of his favourite of last year.
Didn't he say Sentimental Value was his favourite film last year?
But
Yeah.
I think he's flip-flopping across whoever he's talking to.
Well, he's always saying that. You're my favourite.
your
You're my
performance was
favourite.
I mean, I'm torn between Inga and Wunmi, and that's where I am. I think that but I think Wunmi especially, she brings such like this groundedness, but also elevates the film because it feels so spiritual. Obviously, that's what she's bringing to it. But it has such an effect on the whole of the film, and every scene that she's in, it was a scene-stealing performance for me. And then there's that final scene at the end with the baby, and she is just so much the heart of it. And again, on my 10th rewatch of Sinners, I was so moved by her, and I really, really want her to win. But then I think of Inga, and I think of how that was a tough role as well, because there's so many scenes where it's just like she's just sitting in the library, and she's also got that difficult performance of she's kind of the middle between the father and the sister.
She's the mediator.
She's the mediator, and so much of her character is not making it about her, and her heart's breaking for everyone, but she's not making it about her until obviously there's that big release and she shouts at her father. And I feel like so much is building up to that scene where she kind of lets it all out, and it just hit me so much. And then I think of the scene where she's like with Renata and she's like, because I had you, and I just that I think about that scene all the time. So those two performances really stayed with me. And then you've got everyone else. You've got Teyana and how great she was in it. So it's really tough, but I would say for me it's between those two. I know. This is a tough year.
I actually think this is the toughest category.
Yeah.
It is the toughest
In
category.
both who I think and who I want to as well.
Yeah.
I just have my top two, and if you either win or you don't, but it has to be one of you two, or I'll crash out.
Yeah. We can all crash out together.
And there is no bias. The thing is like, as a black woman, seeing two black women in a category at all, in the awards at all, is a rarity. It's actually near impossible. So to have Wunmi and Teyana in the same category is like Sophie's choice, but also you're so happy because this has just simply never happened. Rarely happens. Teyana Taylor obviously took the Golden Globe. She's been getting a lot of critic awards. Teyana, I think the fact that people talk about her so much, despite her tiny screen time, and she's only in the first third of the film and you don't see her again, I think that does also speak to her performance.
Yeah, I agree.
This is her second film, but I don't want to bring in...
Is this her second film ever?
I think so.
Wow.
She said that and this shouldn't, obviously, like I always say, this shouldn't influence what is going on when it comes to voting, but she retired from singing in like 2020.
Yeah, okay.
Like,
I don't know why I thought she was doing both at the same time.
No, she announced, like, and she did that thing when musicians go, this is my last album. We've had an album since then. But she went, this is my last album. Everybody was like, excuse me, how about you get back in the studio? She was like, this is my last album. And because she did an interview with, I think it was Complex, but I'm not too sure. And she said she wanted to pivot. And she's an amazing creative director, so she does a lot of the creative direction for loads of people's tours as well. So she kind of stopped the music. She even did like Summer Walker's creative direction. I think she worked with Victoria Monet. And once you hear that Teyana Taylor's stepping into somebody's creative direction, just know they're about to go to the next level.
Yeah.
Because as we all remember, I remember exactly where I was when I saw Teyana Taylor for the first time on MTV Sweet 16. I remember exactly where I was. That's how long she has impacted my life, and she has been that bee since then anyway.
You guys have got history.
No,
we go way back.
We have history. We go all the way back. So to see her basically do that, say that she was going to quit music because she wanted to focus on acting. She then had her first role in 1,000 Blows. And from what she said, PTA saw her in 1,000 Blows and was like, that's the one.
Wow.
And now that's your second role, and your second role is getting the awards like this. So like I have to be happy for her for that, but she was also amazing in that role.
Yeah.
But then Wunmi Mosaku.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's Wunmi Mosaku.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I can't, it's almost like it's so deserving. And I think that role is so sensitive and important to so many people because she said it herself that she had never been cast as a love interest because she never saw herself as beautiful because the way that casting is, because she's a plus size black woman. She was the love interest in Lovecraft Country County, but people just don't see that. So a lot of people said that when the first time they watched Sinners, they thought that Wunmi was playing Michael's mother because there has never been an instance where the male lead that looks like Michael would be paired with what would be a plus size woman. Sure. So people said that they found it jarring that was his love interest. And I think that also just speaks to like how society views certain women. Yeah. So I think the role that she's playing is so important. Her win would also potentially change people's perception of people that can be cast in the future. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, unfortunately, with acting and with a lot of these roles, you can be the most amazing actress in the world. If you don't fit a certain bracket, you will never be the love interest. You won't ever do the rom-com. Or if you do the rom-com, it's so comedic you're not taking them seriously.
Seriously.
Because a lot of the times, if it's a rom-com but it's with a plus-size woman, it's
she's
like,
about the joke.
She's doing like physical comedy.
Yes.
And it's just like, but what about, let's just do the romance. So having her in that role, and then also her being Woman Masako, and she's just like the most gentle Mancunian alive. And the research that went into it was a really sensitive role. I think all the parts of Sinners are sensitive because of the time period, the story that they're trying to tell, the history that they're trying to tell, the research that goes into that. But that's also just a credit to Ryan anyway, but we'll talk about that separately. That's why I think she should actually maybe take that. But everybody getting a nom alone, first time noms, you've won regardless. You are now an Oscar nominated actress, and when people see your name in the trailer, that's what
Academy Award nominee.
Exactly, that's what it's gonna say. So you've won anyway, and especially, but like Wunmi, I think it should be yours.
Oh my god, I think I would cry. Now that we're talking about it, I think I would cry.
You will. Her family will hear my scream.
Yeah.
They will hear me in Manchester, all the way from London. She'll probably hear me in LA. I will be screaming so heavily, like. But yeah, I really want that for her.
I really want
fantastic.
That. Yeah.
And also, you know, British.
Let's go.
Like British rep, like for real. Because for some reason, because I read it, like Delroy and Wunmi are the only Brits nominated this year, which is very rare for the Academy Awards.
Yeah.
Because obviously, I think people automatically assume like Paul and Jessie, but they are Irish. They're not British.
They are.
And we usually have at least, especially when it comes to like the technical awards, we at least have a couple in, but apparently only, and Delroy, it just happens to be born in Lewisham, and he spent maybe his teenage years and then he ran away.
Yeah.
No shit. I don't, disagree. Your career, you would have been on EastEnders here, honestly. But it's weird that we don't have that many. And what was the UK doing this year?
Yeah.
Where
Get your asses up and work.
Yeah.
Where are we at?
What are we doing?
But those are mine.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think we're all pretty much in a lot of agreement there.
Yeah. I think there's maybe we're going to split on the next category for Best Actress.
Do
Do you know? I don't know. Okay, so Best Actress, we have Emma Stone for Begonia. We have Jessie Buckley for Hamnet. We have Rose Byrne for If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. We have Renee Renser for Sentimental Value, and Kate Hudson for Song Sung Lu.
I didn't think we were split. I thought we all thought Jessie was going to take it.
I think we've shifted.
I changed my mind today.
Okay.
Today I woke up,
A new woman.
and the sun was shining,
Lovely.
and it said in the middle, Rose Byrne.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Rose Byrne's taken it.
Wow.
She
Yeah.
calls to me.
I mean, I love her. Like, I love her performance in it.
I think that I've been shouting since I saw Hamnet, and because it gave me such an emotional response, and this is where sometimes I need to like remove the emotions from it. Hamnet was amazing, and Jessie is running the show for sure.
Yeah.
But is Hamnet amazing? Is it the performance or is it the story? And that's where the performance is super strong. And I know that she said that her screams and her yelps, which is also Jessie Buckley kind of thing, that was all improvised. I believed that when it was happening on the screen. I knew that came from her soul.
Yeah.
And it was really raw and it was really emotional. But Rose Byrne in If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, you really have to deep that. It's just her.
Yeah.
Like she's carrying the whole film.
Yeah.
You see her, obviously she's going through all that stuff with her daughter in there. You don't really ever see the daughter.
Yeah.
A$AP Rocky maybe has 5 minutes of screen time.
Yeah.
Conan O'Brien maybe has 10. She is technically, I would say, not technically, but she's logistically a single mother, because where's your husband?
He was not there.
He was on the phone.
And then all of a sudden we have a cameo of Christian Slater. I was like, what the hell are you doing? Anyway, but like, for over 2 hours, it's just Rose Byrne going through the worst of emotions.
Yeah.
Like making everybody's skin crawl, and also having like this weird undertone of like dark comedy. But I'm also unsure that I keep thinking like, do I think it's dark comedy because it's Rose Byrne and we've seen her in such comedic roles? And if somebody else was playing it, would I be translating that as dark comedy?
I think she's able to balance tone really well. That's what I thought about her performance. I don't think the things that are happening to her are not inherently funny, but I think it is to do with the fact that she's Rose Byrne and she is such an amazing comedic actress. But it's the way that she delivers lines and things, and kind of her like wit and some of her sarcasm that I think then adds to that kind of like dark comedy element.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'd call it a dark comedy, but I do think it is to do with her performance and just the way that she's able to like that's why I do love her performance, because I think it is very nuanced. I think she's able to hit like kind of the emotional lows and the stress and the anxiety of the role, but also add that comedy as well.
Because when she got the Golden Globe, I screamed, shouted even. It was like 3 a.m. All my neighbours must have woken up, because I was like, I can't believe this is happening.
I know.
If we would see it for the Spirit Awards, I think the last 3 leads have taken the Oscar, from what I understand, and she took the Spirit Award.
Okay.
So I think that
it's a precursor.
do you know what? It's also good. Sometimes we've got competition on our hands, and that's what I love to see. Is going to either her or Jessie. If it went to anybody else in that category, I would be very shocked.
Yeah, I agree.
Not to say that they weren't great, but they just weren't as strong. I think like when you look at like, especially maybe not accounting screen time, but looking at the journey and the amount of effort that her role was in comparison to like Kate Hudson.
Yeah,
that's what I'm gonna say.
It's a different league. I'm torn between Jessie and Rose, and I obviously watched If I Had Legs I'd Kick You the other day. Talk about one battle after another. Like, I was like, I feel sick. It was just such an uncomfortable movie to watch, and I mean that complimentary. Like, it was just, I was so immersed. I felt so uncomfortable, and so much of that is obviously, it's just an incredible script. And she said like, this is a character that could only exist in an independent film, because people aren't telling these stories. You're not seeing characters like this often at all, because this is hard to watch. It's hard to digest, and it sits with you and stays with you, and it is really hard. It is really hard, and I think that it's a triumph that it was made. I'm so glad that it was made. I think it's great to see movies about motherhood, and also the fact that we don't see the child, because the child isn't the focus. It's her stories about what she's going through, which is a great, way of storytelling. I just found it incredibly moving, and I thought that her performance was something else. And I think also just that the story of it being about a mother, where it's like, obviously so much of it is like, it's so brave to get up every day and do what she does, but it doesn't shy away from the fact that like, this is hellish. This is really hard. This is all the parts of motherhood that people don't talk about every day. And I think I've read a lot of like reviews from mothers talking about how much they, especially single mothers, talking about how much they connected with the film. And it was one of those ones where you come out of it and you do want to text your mum like, thank you for everything that you've done for me. And and
those dark parts like aren't spoken about,
they're not
like publicly
about.
It's very taboo. And like I think for a film that's now becoming mainstream thanks to its awards buzz, to not shy away from that is like very powerful.
Very, very powerful. Very powerful. And that's why I'd really love to see her win. And also I think that just to have if it's a story about like that relationship, it usually would be focusing on the child and what the ailing is, but to have it just solely be about the mother as the caregiver and the impact that it has on her, I just think that it was just like, again, you just don't see films like that, and I would love to see her get a lot of recognition for it, because she's really
for sure.
She's really
that film was really 13 Reasons Why, but it got to 20 Reasons.
It just kept going, one battle after another.
No, for real, because our point was like, my God, man.
I'd just give up.
That's when you just pack your suitcase and leave. You just like, when it's like the final scene is like you're looking at the life you're leaving behind you. That would be me, because I'm like, I actually can't do this anymore.
No, literally.
But I think it's just become like, unfortunately, with mums, you can't leave.
No,
and that's you. You've got to work. And my takeaway also is like, I think it really does address like a lot of wives and a lot of mothers are spiritually single, and maybe leave him. Because you're already alone. And obviously the money wasn't even getting that roof fixed quick enough, was it? So like maybe just no, because if that's when I would have been like, I'm leaving. That's forever. Enough. I'm sorry. I've watched somebody fall through my roof. I'm leaving forever. It's either I need to go and see a professional, I need to leave. Something like that. But mind you, she is the professional.
She is a professional.
And that making her a character that cares for everyone as well. It was just this kind of endless life of someone that is just constantly having to think of
everybody
everyone
else.
above themselves.
Yeah.
And what a better metaphor for motherhood than that.
Yeah.
You don't get to be selfless again, especially when it's like someone who, you know, the end of their ailing isn't in sight. We don't know that her daughter's going to get better.
Yeah.
She's feeling very, very hopeless about it. Like, it was just the reality of, you can't say to this person things are going to get better. You can't give her that. It is just like endless. And the bravery of that just being your life. Like, you know, there's no medal for those mothers, there's no recognition for those mothers. These stories don't get told, and yet we have this, and Rose Byrne is getting all this recognition. And I'm like, hell yes. Like, these are the stories that we don't see, and these are the women who make the world go round for so many people. And it was just like, I'm just so glad that that film was made.
Okay, Hannah, who do you think? Who do you think's taking? Who do you want to win?
So I do love Rose Byrne's performance in this film, but to me, I think Jessie will win, and I want Jessie to win.
Real.
I just think, you know, award season hits, we get a lot of awards, hyperbole, performance of a lifetime, you know, all things like that. It is for Jessie. Like, she's, and I also think, and I've been thinking about this for like, you know, everybody in this category, like, and especially for Jessie and Rose and Renata, like, they have been putting in really, really consistent performances for years with not a lot of recognition. So I'm happy, whoever wins, to see that actually, it's like you're talking about with Wunmi, and like them becoming Academy Award nominated actresses. Like, that is so lovely. I just think with Jessie, like, it is just her, like, it is just her film. We were talking about this last episode. I watch it and I can't believe it. Like, it's so, and wasn't she pregnant when she was filming it? Like, I just,
oh my God.
It just, the vulnerability needed to reach that level, like, of vulnerability on screen is just insane. And I find her so captivating. Like, I think the issue for me with Hamnet was that when she wasn't on screen, I wasn't interested. Like, and that's why, like, I really loved it, but I think that's what stopped me giving it like 5 stars. Is honestly because I was like, I just want to watch Jessie the whole time. I don't really care about anything else. Like, I just I don't know. I think just the way that she obviously gave all of herself to that performance and the way that translates, I think, and I it's tricky now with the Independent Spirit Awards. I do think that has thrown a bit of a spanner in like who I think will win. I think it's like you're saying, it's between her and Rose. But I'd like to see her take it personally.
For real.
Yeah.
But I would also like to talk about Renata's performance, because I think it's going a bit undersung. I don't think she'll win, and I think I would prefer Jessie or Rose to take it over her. But I guess I just feel very glad to see her nominated this time, because I thought she was snubbed for worst person in the world.
100%.
Yeah.
And that's just the sign of the times where I don't even think people even watch that film.
No. It
God.
kind of almost became like a sleeper hit over COVID.
Yeah.
And I think once it hit streaming, that was when people were like, oh, this is really good.
This is a girl that we should be paying attention to.
We should be
watching.
Yeah. And love that the guy was in it as well. They had a little reunion on screen.
Oh my God, like, actually, there was like seeing my parents get back together. I just think, and it's kind of like how I feel about Inga. They're both very subtle actresses. And I think that's why maybe their performances have gone undersung. I think she has, like, it's hard because obviously Sentimental Value is the same director as Worst Person in the World. It's very similar, you know, it's all the kind of same team, same writer, but they're 2 very different films. And even though, you know, she hasn't done a crazy, like, you know, transformation in this film, like, physically, they're very different characters, and you can tell the difference between the 2. Like, her character in Worst Person in the World is meant to be a kind of carefree, blow up your life, very, like, emotional character. And like, her character in Sentimental Value is so different, and I think she plays them so differently. And I think, I don't know if it's because it is just like kind of her second performance with Joachim, and like that's maybe why people aren't taking it as seriously again, because it isn't this like in your face performance in the same way. But I just think she's like undeniable in Sentimental Value. I think
when it comes to like actresses for Academy Awards, have we seen a subtle win? Like a subtle performance win? for the women, it seems to be like there has to be a part when you're like crying,
you have like
shaking on the floor with like snot streaming or something like that, or you're going on like some rampage, like shooting up a whatever. Like there almost needs to be like this cathartic scream, which is why Jessie could take it, because we all saw that. And then also with Rose obviously has those moments, but it's the intensity is always high.
Yes,
you could even say, oh my god, I couldn't believe this would even happen, but you could even say that with Kate, because Kate does have that moment.
She does.
And that's also the only reason why I think she's been nominated, because it's a different performance for her. Not that it is a Oscar nominated performance, it's just that it's so different for her that people have seen her in a different light. If you weren't going to nominate her for Almost Famous, take it away.
What about How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days?
Exactly.
What about that nomination?
But the thing is like, you can't, like, she's done a really great job with this. I just think there's a few people that I really do think should have taken that lead spot. But somebody that hasn't been spoken about enough, where I do feel like she has actually taken someone's spot, and everybody looks at Kate, but I think it's Emma Stone.
Really?
I don't think Emma Stone's leading Begonia. I think she's a supporting role.
Okay.
I think Jesse is leading that film and Emma's supporting him. But obviously, if you put Emma in the supporting category, they're going to take her. And I don't think she would have taken it if they put her in the supporting one, but in the lead one, they'll put her in. Do you get what I mean?
Wait, in terms of if you put her in supporting, she wouldn't have got nominated for supporting?
I think if they put her
over Amy?
The way that people have been talking about Amy.
Yeah.
And also, also no shade, like, why are Jurgis films not seen as horror films?
I guess because they're not like kind of conventional horror. It's more like disturbing, dark thriller.
Yeah, because
psychological.
Begonia is a horror film to me.
Begonia is
100%.
Yeah.
So then we have multiple horror films. Like
it's because people there's an intersection between dark comedy and horror.
Yeah. But then if you're leaning towards aliens, then you would maybe swing, or are you swinging into sci-fi?
Yeah, I would say more sci-fi than horror.
Sci-fi horror. Anyway, I think Emma's taking somebody's spot, to be perfectly honest.
Okay.
I don't think it's even her. I don't even think it's within her top 3 performances. But people love how far she pushes herself with Jurgis, and that's it. But I'm like, I don't think she deserves to be here. And I can't believe I'm going to use my mouth and say this. I think Kate deserves to be there more than Emma Stone.
Really?
And
that's so interesting.
Yeah, and I think that we were going to say it. Maybe she took Jennifer Lawrence's place, and it was between the two of them.
Yeah, I mean, I would have liked to see a J-Law nomination here.
Yeah. Die My Love was something completely different for her, and a very, very heavy performance. Like, again, talk about carrying a movie. Obviously, Rob is incredible in it, but that was a really difficult role. And I'd kind of obviously bringing up the theme of motherhood and parental relationships this year.
It's dominating.
Yeah, really dominating. You're thinking about Rose Byrne as well, and very similar, kind of different in so many ways, but just like tonally, that performance of a mother going into psychosis and that breakdown, and how well she performs that, it was very affecting. And I was shocked that it didn't get more talk, but I guess that
I think it's the re-edits.
You think?
I find it interesting how... So I remember when I was with you when I saw it for the first time, was I?
Oh my God, well, yeah, we watched it together.
We watched it together. Going into the film, I remember them saying that, oh, by the way, the runtime has just changed.
Okay.
Because they just got it that morning.
Shorter or longer?
I can't remember.
Okay.
But they were like, the runtime is... No, I asked for the runtime. They were like, oh, by the way, it's changed, so they couldn't confirm what the runtime was, but they hadn't received the new edit.
Okay.
I do think it's weird that if you win at Cannes, that you can then edit afterwards, because then you already won the award, so then why would you be able to edit it afterwards? So I think that... Do you get what I mean? Like,
yeah, I know what you...
So I'm like, well, just... You won it, so keep it.
Yeah.
So I think that then might, like, ruin people's chances to then be nominated, because... How many versions is a person going to see before they decide that you should be getting the award? Because the edit, obviously the edit is a big part of it. There could have been a scream that was seen in Cannes that we didn't see. And so it's things like that. So I feel like that kind of choppiness or indecisiveness around a film has potentially ruined her chances. I don't know if she got longlisted. I should have been looking at the long list beforehand, but she should have been nominated. It was like Mother 2.0.
And I think on like Jennifer Lawrence, like that was a genuine surprise to me because of also like the comeback narrative as well, and all the pieces that she was doing.
And
like
she pregnant?
Yeah. She was also pregnant while she was filming.
Also pregnant.
Oh, guys, the mums are going through it.
Again, it's just being a mum, you've got to put in the shift 24/7.
Yeah, it's true.
You've got bills to pay.
And it is interesting also, like, actually now, I haven't really thought about it in your point of, like, did Emma Stone take her spot, considering they're also such good friends, and like they're also kind of it been in the industry like together, I guess.
They
like,
keep talking about it.
They got like a Miss Piggy movie coming.
Yes.
No, but they're in the same
together.
group chat, and I think Jennifer Lawrence said that in the group chat everyone was saying congratulations to Emma, and she was like, oh.
And where's mine?
I guess I haven't got a nomination.
Yeah.
So
that's tough.
I know. Like, because I reckon Jennifer probably thought she was gonna.
Yeah.
She was like in the shoe-in for that.
It was surprising to me, you know, like again, talking about like Oscar narratives, and I don't think like a performance should win from a narrative, but it was interesting to me that since like she won when she was so young. She was this big prodigy that was then kind of torn apart by the media. She went into hiding for a bit basically, and then came out and then has talked about that experience now. And now she's a mum and she's older, and like this film was about motherhood, and it was surprising. I don't know if I would want it to win over like Jessie or Rose, but I was surprised that it was nominated.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think Jennifer Lawrence gets punished for being real. Like she's just
like so funny.
No, like she obviously just has like perpetual word vomit. Yeah. She just says exactly what's on her brain, but it's also like she just says what we're all thinking.
Yeah. She does.
Like that
she
Cynthia Erivo interview when she was like, okay, what color is it? No, real. No, real, because that's exactly what I would want to do.
Yeah.
But it's in your brain and you're telling yourself, don't do it. Don't do it. But she's like, actually, no, let me make a noise and you tell me what color it is.
But this is the thing. We say we want more personality, we want more real.
And they can't
and we get it. And then
it.
it's called fake.
Like, she seems like too normal.
Yeah.
I think that, do you know, I always think that there was a time when who did she take over? She took over for a talk show, and I can't remember whose talk show it was. Somebody, but she made it very much about the Kardashians because she loves the Kardashians. Yeah. I remember her doing that, and I was like, your days are numbered. Because people don't like to see artists as fans of reality TV, but she'll happily go on Andy Cohen and talk about the Real Housewives to death. She loves the Real Housewives. She loves the Kardashians. She loves all the drama around it. But like, I feel like a lot of actors don't admit that they like reality TV
culture,
because they're supposed to be seen as above it because they're making
like a higher.
Yeah, they're making things above it. So they always do the safe option of like, and I saw this video today, and I was just watching everyone. I was like, you're all liars. They were like, oh, do you watch any reality TV? No, but I love Bake Off. They always say Bake Off. It's like, I love Bake Off. I love Bake Off. Bake Off is just X Factor with cakes.
Bake Off is like the rehearsed answer. It's like the PR answer.
Yeah. Everyone can love Bake Off, and then you have in the same interview, it was even going Housewives, and other people said that they loved the Housewives of Salt Lake City, and then they were like, if you say you like Salt Lake City, you're not a Real Housewife fan. That's actually a fake Housewife fan. Emma Stone had just said she loved Housewives Salt Lake, and she said it's Real Housewife fans are
never say
New
that.
York. Like she was going in on it, and I was like, this is why you're the realist.
Yeah.
And that's why you didn't get nominated. Too real.
Too real.
You can't speak for the people and get a nom.
No, exactly.
I think we have one more snub we should talk about. I think Chase is snubbed. Do we think this?
Right. So let me just I think Chase was put in as a really great marketing ploy.
Yes, definitely.
To make sure her name gets out there.
Because if she'd been put in supporting,
it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have happened because Tayana was there. So it made sense. But I never thought she was a lead actress like that. Anyway, I always thought she would have been a supporting role. But so for her to be thrown into the lead category, I think it was a smart ploy. But her not being nominated, was I upset because she got nominated for everything else? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Because I was like, it would have been great for her to have that. But she's still super young, and she was obviously amazing in that. I think she'll do a really good job in The Testaments.
Yeah.
But her not making it, I won't see it as a snub.
Oh, so, okay.
I would just see it as like, it genuinely wasn't your time, and the marketing ploy of it probably just doesn't stretch to the Academy Awards, but it stretched across the board.
Yeah.
And now you at least have all these nominations under your belt, bang, 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 bang. And I think that's great for you.
Yeah. I just love that it was her, first movie.
Her first ever film
Look
role.
at this. PTA opposite Leo, Tiana.
Exactly.
Like, I'm just thrilled for her that she's
Exactly.
just having this moment. I think it's
She's
very
having the time of
deserved.
her life.
And she's going to have a beautiful career, and she will get that nom.
Yeah, it's
It just
true.
isn't-
She'll
for
still
this.
be in Presumed Innocent season 2, I assume. How did that
You're
series
presuming.
end? I'm
You're
presuming.
presuming.
Maybe she won't. Actually, let me revisit that show.
Okay.
I feel like I've just remembered how that last episode went. Anyway, but she plays Jake Gyllenhaal's daughter in it.
Oh, okay.
And it is a great show, guys. Go and watch it Apple TV so that I can get more seasons.
Let me
But I
look into
think
you.
that with the Jake Gyllenhaal resurgence, because of The Bride and other things that he's coming out with this year, and people going back to
Is Renata Reinsve not in it as well?
oh my god,
Yeah. I thought, because I haven't seen
Oh
it,
my
but I
God,
was going to
yeah.
watch it for Renata.
do you know what? Maybe that was the premonitions of Presumed.
Yeah.
Everyone in here is getting
I
something.
didn't know Tracy Affinity was in it. I didn't
Oh
know
my
she
god,
was
I
in it.
completely forgot because I don't want to spoil it. But anyway, she
Okay,
has
I
a-
can.
and
Oh,
they
she's not in season
and
2,
they
is she?
connect. Do you know what? Yeah, forget it. Yeah.
Okay, I need to be seated.
Yeah,
It's my new
yeah.
binge.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
I will rewatch.
and our
Put a pin
first
in
time
that, we'll
watch.
circle
Yeah.
back. We'll circle back.
But for that, I think that her next year is going to be amazing. She'll have a lot coming
Yeah.
out, and then she'll just get recognized for normal roles, all that stuff, and then she'll have a bigger role and she'll get the Oscar eventually.
Yeah,
But she's
I
still
agree.
baby girl.
I
She's
did
25.
love.
Baby girl.
I did love PTA last night. This Spirit Award saying like that he wrote the script before she was born, so he must have been waiting for
He
her.
must have been waiting.
Like
for
that
you.
is just that's just lovely.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know if I guess I wasn't surprised that she wasn't nominated because I do agree. I think it was for, but then I think because then almost like I sold myself on the dream. Like I knew that it was for marketing.
Yeah.
And then I rewatched it and I was like, no, she's actually so good in this.
Yeah.
But I agree. Her time will come. Her time will come.
Her time will come.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
This was a really difficult episode because I think we don't really have a fixed decision on either.
No.
We
Yeah.
don't. I'm very much like I'd kind of be happy with a lot of people here.
Yeah.
The chips will fall.
The
The
chips
chips
will
will fall
fall.
where they may.
Yeah. And we'll be happy for all. Well,
And it's like -1.
minus, not even -1, minus a couple. It would be crazy if some certain people get it. But
Yeah.
I guess I'll be
I
happy.
also can't wait for us to do like a post-awards debrief to
Oh
see
my
like
God.
this is what the work is for, guys.
No,
Yeah.
really
like,
and truly.
like just because
I'll be
I
sat
think
here with a prosecco.
We'll get the bevs in.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Massive Cinema podcast. You can join us next week when we're talking about all of the international nominations. In the meantime, you can subscribe to us on YouTube. You can follow this podcast, comment, like, let us know what you think. Let us know who you think's been snubbed. Let us know if you agree with us. And in the meantime, you can follow at Massive Cinema on Instagram for all things film related.